shot again. I want to earn my title shot. And fighting a guy like Kamal, I feel like Kamal's the toughest guy in the lightweight division. Then fighting Donald is a guy who's right up there as one of the toughest guys in the lightweight division. So a win over Donald, I feel that I deserve that title shot again.
This is your first rematch.
This is.
He's had a couple of them already in his career. He's fought bench-wise, you know. This is going to be you for the second time. So how do you get ready mentally and physically for a rematch? Because this was a rematch with a long time before.
Yeah, you know what? Donald's a very tough dude, but the fact that I fought him once before, I feel like I know him better than he knows himself. And there was a lot of things going into that fight that had nerves and had fear and a lot of things, like I said, going into it. Like I was scared of Donald a little bit. Now that I fought him before, there's nothing really to fear, and I've had the best training camp I've ever had. And I just feel like the pressure's off me. I get to go out there, fight Donald, a guy I've already fought before, a guy that I know so well already, and I just get to go out there and have fun. Whether I win or whether I lose, it doesn't really matter. I know that I'm in the lead. So like I said, he has to win in order to tie. So the pressure's really off me, and it's all on him. He's got to win to back up all the shit that he's talked.
So talk to me. That's Randy Couture said something funny a couple weeks ago. He said, if you talk a lot of stuff, and then you go out there and you lose, you got a lot. You're eating a lot of crow there, basically.
For sure.
So do you kind of try and avoid all that and just talk all they want, we'll settle in the cage?
You know what? Donald really got me caught up in this stuff. Like probably about the first 8 months after my last fight with him. Like I got caught up in it, and I was all about bantering back and forth with him. But honestly, it really got me nowhere. It made me like miserable to have that animosity with another fighter, and always wondering what the heck he was doing, what was he saying now. I'm just gonna let him talk, and I'm just hoping karma's on my side. I can just go in there, win the fight, shut him up, and then move on and fight for the title.
You feel now you have to win big. Last time you won the fight, you walked away with the belt, but this time you feel you have to go out there and not just win it, but finish him, and with 3 rounds it's going to be easier to do that?
There's only been one guy that's ever finished him. So, and he's now the lightweight champion. For me to go out there and finish him, I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying it's improbable. I want to go out there and I just want to implement my game plan. I know I have all the tools necessary to finish him, whether catch him in a submission or knocking him out, possibly ground and pound him out. But Donald's a tough dude. I think that Ben Henderson has got that one move. I mean, it's just, he goes into a gunfight, he's got that one bolt in his gun, but the bullet's this big. It's a huge bullet. Even if it comes close to you, it's still going to kill you type thing. And unfortunately, I don't have that. I don't have that one move like, you give me your neck, I'm going to finish you. But I do have, you give me your chin, I will put you away. So we'll see. He's a tough dude, but I think he got caught. Ben caught me. Ben's got a great guillotine, just a phenomenal guillotine. You cannot give him your neck. He's just one of those guys. So I think if that fight was to happen 10 times in a row, it probably would never happen again. That guillotine.
Do you think that this? I was telling you earlier, this fight doesn't seem to be talked about a whole lot coming around. I don't really understand why. I realize that it's been so long between things kind of kept happening. Either you were hurt or you went and fought somebody else, and there was an interim title. Does this fight lost kind of its luster? Do you think at all?
I think there's a lot of fans out there, MMA fans, that really want to see this fight. And I know a lot of my friends and family and a lot of my fans want to see me shut him up. And I know a lot of his fans want to see him beat me because they feel like they got robbed in the last fight, even though it went to the judges' scorecards. But you know what? He's a tough dude, and it's going to be a great fight. This is a fight for the fans. Jose Aldo and Manny Gamburyan, I don't think that's a really highly touted fight because a lot of people don't know much about Gamburyan because since the Ultimate Fighter, he's kind of went off and did his own thing. Hadn't really seen him. Then Jose Aldo is, he's climbing up the ladder, but a lot of people don't really know Jose Aldo. So this is a fight that I feel is really going to be there for the fans. Donald's real recognizable from the Tap Out TV show and just a lot of his epic battles that he's had in the WEC. Than me, I'm known for knocking people out and being the former world champion. And we had a battle. The first time around was a tough fight. I broke my hand on him. I broke my foot. Got a lesion in my right eye. That fight was a war. I was in a cast. I went to the hospital. Went to the airport the next day. Had a cast on my hand. Had a cast on my foot. I'm hobbling around with one crutch. So this is definitely. I see this being the same kind of fight. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out war. But I feel that I'm too much for Donald. Too athletic, too strong, and I just got too many tools, too many weapons.
I ask everybody this nowadays because they always end up giving me a pretty good answer. What is it? What's the key to the fight from you? What is the one thing you have to do? I mean, do you have to just keep your emotions in check all week? Do you have to time everything right? Do you have to count it? What's the key to the fight for you? What's the one thing you have to do?
You know, the key to this fight is just for me to be me. You know, just to go out there, have fun, and just be well-rounded. Be the Jamie Varner that people, you know, fell in love with. The guy that fought Razor Rob, the guy that fought Marcus Six. To not try and be something I'm not. And that was like a big thing. That was probably the biggest thing in my fight with Ben and with Cowboy. You know, I had a lot of stuff going on. I was trying to be something that I wasn't. And I'm a well-rounded fighter. I don't need to just keep it in one, you know, keep it standing or take it to the ground. You know, I need to fight people in all positions and be confident in myself. And like I said, fighting Donald once before, I do have the confidence. I know him so well. I know what it takes to beat him, and I know I can beat him in any position. Donald's best position is ground game. I'm not going to be scared of his stand-up. I'm not going to be scared of his wrestling. I'm not going to be scared of his jiu-jitsu, but I know where he's best at. He's best on his back with those long legs. He's got great triangles, great hips, great Kimura sweeps. He's got a good guillotine too. So, I mean, I just got to be aware of what he's going to do, but I need to just go out there, be me, have fun, and just, you know, execute my game plan. And that's just sticking, moving, taking him down, fighting him in all positions.
What's changed over the 2 years, just as far as training for you? Because it seems like you kind of, last time I was down here, you seem like you're kind of doing some of the same stuff, but just you're tweaking it more. You're doing things differently, you're changing time or something.
You know what?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Probably the biggest thing is just my scheduling has changed. I used to do all my ground at like 10 a.m. Now, since they're only doing gi jiu-jitsu in the morning classes here at Arizona Combat, I find guys that come in during the middle of the day, and we'll have like a workout where I'll have 2 guys like run Robin on me, or 3 guys come in, and we'll just grapple. And I have guys that are better than me, so they can not only can they like beat me, but they can also coach me at the same time. So that's where I've seen probably my biggest improvements is on the ground. Striking, I still do all my striking, all my sparring at night, and then I do all my strength and conditioning in the afternoon as well. So, I mean, and another thing that I've added was the swim workouts. You know, I broke my hand with Donald. I had to find something to do, you know, to keep myself active, keep myself, you know, off of bar stool, off, you know, playing video games or whatever. So I found swim practice really low impact on my hand, and I started riding a bike as well. So between my road bike, my swim practice, those are some things I've added that just, you know, have made me become even more well-rounded and just add to my, you know, arsenal, you know. My cardio going into like the 5th round, I start off so hard because I'm more of a sprinter. That's just the way I've built. That's the way I've always done things. Swimming, like even when I was younger, I was a sprinter. And going into this sport, 15 minutes, 25 minutes, that's a long time. That's one hell of a sprint. So now I've kind of learned how to pace myself through doing these different exercises to get more aerobic conditioning as opposed to just being all anaerobic.
Talk to me about just fighting in Denver. I mean, the elevation, we've had fights there in the past. Guys like, oh yeah, you know, some guys came in early, other guys don't. What are you doing to get ready for the elevation?
You know, the biggest thing with Denver is the fact that, you know, it is 5,000 feet, but I have fought at 5,000 feet before. I won my world title against Razor Rob McCullough in Albuquerque, which is about 5,500 feet. So I'm okay with it. I got a great training camp plan. I'm going to go up to Flagstaff, Arizona, which is 7,500 feet. And I got a lot of good guys coming with me. I got Ryan Diaz, who's a 10-time world champion kickboxer. I got Steve Rosenberg coming down. Then I think Jose Aldo's going to come down and help me train up there. So I may collaborate with Jose Aldo's team because he's part of Novo Nyo, and that's what we're a part of here at we're Novo Nyo Jiu-Jitsu here at Arizona Combat Sports.
If you could say one thing to Donald, what would it be?
Okay, well, I don't know, man. It's tough. If I could say
let me just tell you this. He ended pretty much every sentence with something that ended up with some sort of derogatory statement towards you. It was da-da-da-da, fuck you, Varner. I mean, I'm just telling you what he said. You can make your own judgments on it, but I mean, it's just...
Oh, man.
If you could say something to him...
All right.
What would you say?
If I could say one thing to Donald Cerrone...
Looking at the camera. You can do it in the camera, you can look at me either way.
If I could say one thing to Donald Cerrone... Donald Cerrone... Oh man, I don't even know. It's so I just don't even want to get caught up in the shit talking. But
if you don't want to, you don't want to. That's cool. I mean, I was just figuring I'd give you the opportunity to see when you take the opportunity. So. Well,
if I could say one thing to Donald Cerrone, you've done a lot of talking. September 30th, you're going to get the chance to back it up. I really hope you do.
Anything, or are we good? Good. You good?